Yeah, well, you want to try to, before you have to sing, you want to avoid places that have a lot of ambient noise. Uh, just vocal use, just plain not having unnecessary conversations or getting into screaming fights with people or you just are, and you're also careful about your speaking voice, that you're never just really kind of slouched in a chair talking on the phone and kind of down like this, because that's going to really affect that's going to affect. It's the same equipment that you're using when you sing, so you really have to make sure that you remain kind of within your resonance at all times. And that's something, when I first started teaching a lot of hours of the day, that I had to be really careful with, is that I was always, in a pretty good posture, and that I was pretty resonant, and I was feeling everything kind of there, and making sure that I got a good breath and didn't speak longer sentences than I really could maintain with the breath that I took. So there's all that kind of stuff. And, there's no end to that kind of thing. The whole vocal hygiene issue, it's become very popular to talk about that. But, there's such a wealth of scientific, it's sort of an offshoot of sports medicine, I suppose, that there's so much more known about the actual anatomical and physiological things that go on when you sing, and what kinds of medications affect you, and what kinds of dietary things affect you, and not to eat foods that are too drying before you have to sing. A lot of salt, a lot of that is known. In fact, almost too much, in my opinion, because you can develop a kind of a hyper-awareness and a hypersensitivity and be afraid to do what you do. And most singers need to be reassured that singing is a completely natural act. There are times that you're stretching the boundaries of nature, and that you're asking your voice to do things like ascend to very high notes, or sing at very loud volume, or sing very, very softly, that don't appear to be natural. But hey, if it weren't natural, you wouldn't be able to do it. So it is a normal physical function. I had a teacher that was French and very elderly when I studied with him, and he was wonderful with that. He just said, I believe that singing is a perfectly natural act, and he wouldn't have it that you got to be a hypochondriac about your voice. He just said, you should be able to sing. You should be able to warm up in 5 minutes. You shouldn't need 2 hours and just to get your voice ready to go. If you're in communion with your instrument, it should be at your command fairly quickly.